Blog Talk Radio. Women have the power to transform this world. We can end crime and violence if we all agree to do one thing: share. Let's share our wisdom, share our time, share our talent, share our finances, but most of all, let's share our love. This is the Female Solution. Join me, Naima Latif, every morning, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. Central Standard Time, as we bring you stimulating discussions about the issues affecting our lives. If you're listening online at www.blogtalkradio.com/the-female-solution, press the blue button that says follow and get our daily topics every morning directly to your email and your smartphone. Hi, I'm Naima Latif, Executive Producer of the Female Solution Radio Show. We invite you to call in 515-605-9325 and participate in this daily think tank as we examine the challenges we face and develop solutions that restore peace and harmony. We are global transformers, changing the world from the way it is to the way it should be. We are one. Wherever we live on this earth, we are one human family. On behalf of our team of radio hosts, I'd like to extend a greeting to all the members of our family, whenever and wherever you may be listening around the world. To our family in China, Ni Hao. In India, Namaste. In Japan, Konnichiwa. In Korea, Annyeonghaseyo. In Russia, Здравствуйте. In Germany, Guten Tag. In Poland, Dzień dobry. In France, Bonjour. In Spain, Hola. In Italy, Ciao. In Egypt, Ahlan wa sahlan. In Ghana, Akwaba. In Nigeria, Peleo. In South Africa, Sawubona. In Senegal, Nangadet. In Kenya, Jambo. In Israel, Shalom. In Pakistan, Afghanistan, Palestine, and Saudi Arabia, Assalamu alaikum. Greetings, and may peace be upon you all. Join us live on the on-air radio network called 727-731-5192. We want to talk to you.
I don't see you. Turn your camera off.
Oh, I turned the camera off. Okay,
yeah, turn your camera off. Okay. All right, Janine and Claudette, you all can turn your camera off. Thank you very much. Hi, good afternoon. I tell you what a wonderful day it is. A day before Mother's Day. Hallelujah. And I am just so excited. Mama Joy here on Walk in Your Authority today. We have a double hitter. We've got some amazing women today, and our first guest will be Minister Jacquline Miller, and she's going to introduce us to her newfound name. And she's, so talented. I've known her for just a few years, but she's an amazing worker in community, an amazing artist. And if you just see her picture, you can see she's very creative. Lots of energy. And she's also the director of racial equality and social change. And I'm just going to tell you that I'm so happy to have you here with us, because we're here on the Motherland. And I want to welcome the Facebook people, Facebook fans, and our Blog Talk Radio fans this morning, and YouTube as well. Because we're here, and our first of the double headers will be Miss Jacquline Miller, who has, as I said, has visited the Motherland and will be able to share some insights with this, as well as this scarcity mindset that we seem to be, in the midst of. And she's promoting a change of our mindset in our community, because we're suffering from that disease. I say it is. You look beautiful, girl. I tell you, I like that. And so, and then our second half, just hanging with us, we've got Lady Love Janine Ingram, author of Born to be Rich, and Miss Claudette Redic, author of Aint Everything. And what they will do is speak to us about the mother in the heart, because their mothers are no longer here in the flesh, but they're in our hearts. And we want to be an encouragement for those who are in that situation today. May not be able to handle it, or either want to just share some reflections on their feeling and how they overcame, and hold it in the heart without the pain anymore. So we're from the Motherland with Jacqueline, and then at 2:00 we will take on 2 amazing other young women in our community for Mother in the Heart. So Jacqueline, just for about a couple of minutes, give us a little feedback on who you are, where you are, because I thought you were still in Southside. You're muted. I can't hear you. Unmute. Mm-hmm. No, you're not unmuted yet. I can't hear a thing you're saying. Okay, let's see.
Are you able to hear me?
I'm able to hear you now. Yes.
Yeah, I haven't turned my mic off at all, but I'm glad to be here and to be heard. I'm glad to be here and to be heard. And you know, who am I? I am Jacqueline. I'm a social justice warrior. And the one thing I like to lift up in this moment, in terms of who I am an anti-oppression activist and advocate. Just like right now, I was muted and I saw that my mic was not muted. I was on. So the same it is with many people in our communities. They have been muted. But I love the fact that we are here as mothers. This is a call to action. To unmute yourself, unmute your children, your family, unmute your communities. I am here to help unmute you as a social justice warrior, activist, advocate, and mom.
Girl,
and grandmama. Let me say that too now.
Yes. You're about to make me fly, girl. That feels so good, so fresh. You know, and it's all about the power within. And the fact that you are operating on a tremendous amount of love and experience of the community. I know you. I know you have walked the streets of the south side of Chicago. You prayed. Hey, you walked with the police officers. You were with several organizations, working with our youth vigorously and heartfully, and went into some rough areas in Chicago with all the finesse and zest and love that I can imagine, and so colorful. I've never known such a colorful woman. You are so colorful.
Thank you.
So I'm loving that, and the warrior. When you speak of the warrior, are we speaking about the warriors like Sparta, or warriors like Hercules, or warriors like Shaka Khan? What kind of warriors as women are we bringing to the table that's different from what has been?
Well, what's different from what has been is that we embody this strength. We embody the heroism. We embody the tenacity. We embody the resilience. We embody the power. We embody principles and values. And because a lot of times you see warriors, warrior figures and cartoon warriors and so forth. They put on a costume, or they put on this face, or they put on these things that really is external. It's outside of them. But what we are talking about, and the difference here, is that our who we are as warriors is internal, like it's in that heart, right? And that then means, despite sometimes how you feel in your body, how you feel in your emotions, how you might even feel in your soul, that warrior finds reason, finds timing, finds purpose, finds the divine reason to stand up, gird up, and pull on that inner strength, that inner knowing, and that inner being. That's the difference.
Inner strength and inner knowing. That's right, because as females, as divine beings, that's why our power has been dismissed. It's because we do not wear it on the outside. No. We wear it within ourselves.
Yes.
Because that's the energy and strength that brought us here.
Yes.
That's what very life in our womb. All of our power is within. And you know what? I know Claudette is sitting here watching and listening, and Claudette, Janine. So, ladies, I'm sure Jacqueline wouldn't mind if you chime in on this, because I know they know you're the real deal. You feeling it. And I can say that these are two warriors too. But we're coming a different way. They're coming a different way. And peace will be made in that way. Not by the guns. Hallelujah. Not by the bombs and all of these horrific means that man puts so much time into how to destroy the body that we create in our body.
Yes.
They take liberty to dismiss the value of who we are and what we are to the very creator. And we are the representative of that creator in the flesh. Hallelujah. And together, I love that because we feel so much. I wish I could just hug you, but you're a distance. So where are you located? Because I know you're not on the south side.
So I have not forgotten. No, I'm not on the south side. I tend to be one of those international travelers. Sometimes it's called, I'm frequently taking wings, and I'm on those eagle wings, and I'm flying all over at times. But I reside in Texas. I'm in Austin, and this is where I am for a time such as this time and this season. Now, I don't know if there might be a next, but for now, here's where I am, Austin, Texas.
Austin, Texas. I love that place. And we have callers on the line, and we want to let you know that you can text us on Facebook. If you want to participate, those of you who are here now by phone, you just press the number 1 in the queue, and I will respond to you. If you have any questions that you would like to direct to Miss Jacqueline Miller, who is with us from Austin, Texas, via the Motherland. Hallelujah. And I'm just excited about this. So, yes, by all means, tell us more about your name change. So since I met it's been maybe a couple of years, your name has changed. And what's that all about? Is this part of the the warrior?
Well, I tell you, it is a radical thing now. Mm-hmm. We know warriors are radical. And so it's a radical thing for one to change their name. So my name change basically came forth as I learned about my identity, where my roots lie, and the fact that African people, due to colonization, were stripped of our identity, including our name, stripped of many things, our culture, our land, our mother tongue. So I went on a journey. I wanted to go on this journey within, And that was through a rites of passage program via Waterway. And there would be shout out to Mama Asantawa and Sister Ya, were the facilitators of that space. And I went on this journey, and I had always been curious about, although I love my name, my mom gave me my name, Jacqueline, and that means so much to me. So I have not abandoned that name. That is still my name, but I added to my name. Who
You added to
who am I naming myself? Right? It's like, what is the name you give yourself? And so I decided, based on self-determination, to explore what names I would give myself in terms of an African name. And so I learned, first of all, I gave myself the name Noliwe, which means pathfinder, and that's who I am. I am truly a pathfinder. I have paved the way for myself and just knowing the way that I am to go. So Noliwe, and then my the name that was given to me in terms of where my roots lie in Africa is Wakavoche, which means lover of nature, lover of art, lover of creation. I'm a creative person, so that's what Wakavoche means. And then Ajoa, I gave myself this name Ajoa, which is a Ghanaian name, and it means Monday born. So I wanted a name that will reflect where my roots lie, my purpose, and who I am.
I love that. You did that so beautifully and so confidently.
I agree.
Was it the trip to Africa that really, because you have changed tremendously, and I can feel your power. I can feel you. And the last time I saw you, and we were walking the streets, and I would see you always jolly, but firm in a determination for change. But now there's another woman here that I'm faced with today. I'm with someone who still has joy, but there's a lot of control and a lot of masterminding practices that I can see that you have been doing to work it, to make it work, and to make it real, because it has become a part of you. And I just want to congratulate you on that.
Thank you.
Because you're doing the work. Many people take leadership positions, but they don't do the work. And the work is something, when you come into a position and God calls you, you have to work on you first and your mindset. So I tell you, I'm going to ask my engineer for Sharam if he would come in and just give us a little taste of some of your pictures. He was doing some of the things. Oh, Janine, you wanted to say something? I saw her face come in. So Janine and Queen Hostess, you are certainly welcome to do that, to come in. Just unmute and come on in. We all ladies. We're all warriors. So, yeah, and so I like that, and I must say that's an inspiration for me. That's an inspiration for me. So, give us a little taste of what this. You're in the director of racial equity and social change. What is this organization that you have created here?
Well, it's not an organization that I created. It's a work organization that I work for as the Director of Racial Equity and Social Change. And that organization is a National Resource Center on Domestic Violence, where we provide support services, training, and technical assistance to domestic violence coalitions across the nation, in addition to organizations who seek to learn more about the resources that are available to build their own organizational capacity, as well as individuals. Many individuals reach out to us, survivors reach out to us, communities, clergy, health providers, law enforcement, state attorney, the criminal justice system, and so forth, reach out to us to gain tools and education and information on domestic violence and how to respond to survivors sensitively, as well as what the resources are. So my particular position is I lead the work of racial equity, which essentially is centering those who are the most impacted by racism, by white supremacy within our society. And our goal is to, and we know that there can be no survivor justice without racial justice, particularly those who are living at the margins, those who are experiencing the greatest rate of inequities, those who are not provided the tools and resources and support that they need to thrive, and once again, centering the lives of those who are the most marginalized. And we know who that is. We know it's people of color. And at our organization, we also center Black leadership, and I am thrilled, and excited to be one of the leaders in our organization, one of the Black women, and the racial equity work. I mean, it's not something that you should be living it. It's a journey. It's an experience that you walk and not just talk. Back to the warrior, doing it, right?
Walking in that authority. Walk in that authority that was given to you at birth.
Absolutely. It's about it.
And the point that is what you're saying is that, and stop looking for someone else to come in your community and save your community. You are there. It is our responsibility.
Yeah.
And the faith that we have, we must know that everything that we need is in us to be able to bring it forth.
Everything. And that's the thing.
Yeah. Yes. And I want you to tie that into the lack of this practice. What we do is a consciousness of lack. This should be stopped. It's not, the system has its issues, but we have a program inside of ourselves that has to be deleted, canceled out, dismissed, and removed. And we can only do that ourselves.
Absolutely. And for me, Mama Joy, and thank you for the question, is that I must admit, at many points of my life, I was living and had accepted lack. Yes, I had. Which the piece I'm going to talk about here and now is the lack in terms of someone else determining what I need, what I'll have access to, and what I have the rights to, or what my choices and my options would be. And so I basically just went with it. Well, they said I can only do this. Well, they said I can only have that. Well, I can't go over there. Well, I can't be this. Well, just accept, hey, we all in the same boat. Or, you can't have it all good all the time. And that, yes, you'll have a better outcome if someone else make decisions for you. I was on that journey. I was in that place. Yes, yes.
Look, my mother, bless her heart, love her dearly. Whenever she felt good, she says, "Oh, I'm feeling too good. I know something bad's got to happen." So she robs herself of even having good, feeling good. And when you speak about the strength that we have in our feelings and how much we must work on giving ourselves permission to feel.
Yes.
And be expressive about that. My mother didn't do that. So how far did my conversation go with my mother? Not very far.
Not far at all.
How far did my willingness to go out and pursue uh, the issues at hand when I couldn't honor my own feelings. And then when I did, it's always a negative thing. But my feelings are my feelings, and I have a right to express my feelings. The maturity, young lady, of our community was not there in the position of matured adults to be able to have a conversation because they were engulfed in their own pain. That's the raw story. They're not to be faulted because they were swimming and breathing in their own pain and could not express. And when we don't understand growth, we don't understand that we can't go beyond what we don't know.
That's right. That's right.
Now here we are taking on a position of these warriors, but with no weapon. And when the Spirit says no weapon formed against you shall prosper, think about that. The weapons that they're weapons you see, and they're weapons that you do not see. And it's the weapons that you don't see that empowered you and me and brought this flesh to life. That's the Creator. You can call it many different names. It is what it is, and you will never be able to touch or crush that because it is what it is. You got me going. We're having a challenge on the Block Talk because for some reason our people don't hear the sound, and I'm checking my phone. I don't see it's at mute. So what I'm going to do, I think I'm going to call back in again and see if we can get that started. So what I'm going to do is take an early sponsor break. And Sharon, can you put some pictures up there for us while I work on the sponsorship, please?
Would you like me to leave and come back in as well?
No problem with you. It's on my end, and we're going to rectify that right away.
Okay.
I'm going to take a commercial. I'll take a commercial break, and just give me about 3 minutes, and I'll be right back there with you. Okay?
Sounds great.
We're here at
If you like to say something about this,
I actually visited there.
now I'm saying if you like to say anything about some of these images, this is Senegal.
You're able to hear me?
Yes.
Yes, I actually visited the museum, and it was a phenomenal experience. Over 200 stairs to climb to get to the spot where the museum was. And we went inside, and there were like life-size kings, like of course models of them or statues of the kings of each country in Africa, and in pretty much also in character or in their own embodiment. It was something really amazing to behold. I wasn't sure what to expect, and I had seen pictures of that spot before and never imagined really that I would really see, um, you know, the land and see the structure of it. I was in Senegal and was not even aware that we would get a chance to go to the museum. And so when we drove up, someone in the car that was with us it's like, Jacqueline, hey, Jacqueline, you see that? Look over here. And I looked that way, and oh my gosh, I just, an awe and a reverence came over me that it was like right before my eyes that I got to see that spot and I was like, "Oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm here!" And not knowing that they we were gonna go inside, so we went inside the museum, and it was like a dreamland. It was literally like a dreamland, and I feel that every Black person, African American person, however you identify, need to go and visit that spot. It was breathtaking, every bit of it, and the time that was put into bringing forth such a structure and the details and it was so meticulous of the thoughtfulness that went into it and the intentions also that were clearly set for to have a ground and mark history in the way that it was. And so I do hope to go back again. I think like my first time, I was just so struck by it, and it was such a breathtaking experience. It was challenged to take all in that I was beholding and seeing, and And then also what came coming to me as we went up into like the third level. So there are three levels of it. And that top level is the head of the father, the head of the man. And then he holds the child, and the child is doing the pointing. And then there's the woman, there's the mother. And I paid attention to her feet. It is something, something, something to experience. And then right at the very top, which is at the head and the crown of the man, there are windows. And as you look out that window, you look over the city of Senegal. And then you look and peer your eyes out into the Atlantic Ocean. What an experience. And to see the waves moving as they were, it is something I really don't have the words to clearly and completely express what I experienced. It is an experience you must have. It is an experience. That's what it is. It's an experience. And it's worth the investment. Every bit of it. Yes, there it is. And to see it. And then that rock that they're standing on, that means that's the rock, the foundation of who we are as as a people. That was also intentional. Very, very, very. And you see the child this way. A little child shall lead them. And see how the man, the father, the husband is holding on, embracing his family. Arms are strong, arms are there to hold and to embrace every bit of who we are. The family, family units, everyone have their respective roles in the family. Everyone has value in the family. Everyone has worth. Everyone belongs. There's a sense of belonging even there in that space. There was a strong sense of belonging. And then those of us that was there just made us feel proud and raise our heads even higher than what it was. Like, these are my people. This is my land. They said to the point of no return. So many of us kept saying, I'm back. I'm back. I'm here. I'm here. That goes back to what I said earlier. No one gets to determine. No one gets to determine. Many things and people and systems do everything to determine your outcome. Do everything to determine how far you can go, how high you can reach, how wide you can soar. No one gets to do that. And even more so, once you know who you are. Once you know who you are, one thing about warriors is warriors will look a challenge in the face. Warriors will fix their eyes and see straight in and through what stands before them. In fact, we'll see past it. How about that? We'll stand and see past it. Oh, there were warriors that I know of the African descent, of the African heritage and lineage, pregnant, who fought the army. An army of folks fought on behalf of her people, fought and stood with confidence and assurance that we're going to be all right. That's the kind of strength, that inner voice. Even what are we saying to ourselves from the inner place? What stories are we telling ourselves?
Come on now. Thank you. I'm
Oh
telling
my
you.
goodness.
Go ahead on, Miss Co-host.
This piece,
Dealing
this
with
piece.
and just say, I feel you. I feel you. It's wonderful. That's beautiful. That is so beautiful. I just love it. I had to go off and do some other little works and whatever. But I love your willingness to just go on with the flow. I love the willingness to just let go and let the spirit use you and do what you can to make it work. And that's what we as women of the diaspora hello, have to do, and
That's
to
right.
understand that we are here to be healers. We are here to be healers. And you say,
Yes.
with all this stuff going on, how is that possible? You know, I think about Jesus when the words he said, "Hey, I'm sending you like sheep among wolves." Sheep among wolves. He didn't say you were going out to some rose garden and that you were just gonna be on the petals. I see Mama
Mm.
Lady Love sitting it there because she loved them rose petals. She likes warm baths and rose petals. Yeah, petals. No, there are thorns on those rose bushes.
That's right. That's
And
right.
wolves stay hungry and they travel in packs. But when you know who you
Wow.
are, that's why Christ was able to go and deal with issues. He said, and even Paul, well, Christ himself, he says, hey, to Pilate, he says, Pilate told him, don't I have life and death in my hands? What are you going to say, man? He said, if it wasn't from the power above, you wouldn't have no power. You wouldn't even have the seat. And one thing, you don't have power over me. I think the greatest thing that Jesus brought to us, we say the cross, but I just think it was the power of love.
Yes.
The power of love. And that's
Yes.
why we wear that in our hearts even now. It never was something that you could put on and dress
Wow.
up. It's something that is always within, and you got to feel it. You got to know it. So I want to thank you so much. I said, Janine, I know you want to weigh in on this some kind of way because I'm looking at your face. What you got to say? Just unmute yourself. Do you remember? Do you remember? Lady Love, Miss Reverend Janine Ingram. This is Jacqueline, Minister Jacqueline Miller.
I think everything was beautiful. Everything was beautiful. It was beautiful. I come from a grandmother, a long lineage, believe in love. My grandmother used to say, "There's not an ill love can't heal. There's not a prescription love can't fill. And for every question, love is the answer." And that's what I felt in her
Yes.
presentation.
Yes.
Mhm.
She rocks with her grandmother.
I do.
Love it.
She to me was one of the wisest women who stopped the planet. She was a wise woman, baby.
Mm.
And you were talking about authority. She walked in her authority. She said what she was gonna say, and she knew love. And it's interesting. So we talking about love, and I used to hear people say love. What the scripture say in Corinthians, love is kind, love is, all those wonderful things. And one day, God was telling me to look. The spirit was like, read the chapter. I'm like, no, I don't know. Every time people say love is kind, and love is so much more than that, right? And so I finally broke down and did what spirit wanted me to do. And if you read the chapters before it start talking about love is kind, love holds no record of wrong, it tells you that I don't care what you do. If you don't have love in your heart, then you have nothing.
Ooh,
It says
nothing.
you can quote every scripture, you can go to church, you can pay tithes, but if you don't have love in your heart, you have nothing. And I was like, oh my God. So even though love is all these things, it has to be embodied in our heart. And that's what I heard from you,
Yep.
Jacqueline, Minister Jacqueline. I heard the love.
Thank
Mhm.
you.
I felt it in your soul and in your heart and in every cell in your body.
Oh,
And
Mm.
that's what this presentation today remind me. And it's so apropos because as we celebrate mothers, what is the one thing we learn from mothers? The energy of love, unconditional
Love.
love. And then when you become a grandmother, you give the grandest love of all.
That's the truth.
that's a new twist
Mhm.
on grandmoms. I've learned that too. I said, yeah, what does that mean? But in the meantime, I've got to do a commercial because we got our sponsors here, and let me take time and do that, and just say thank you so very much. And we still have about 10 more minutes of you, and I want to be able to touch Jacqueline on some of these principles. Have a cup abundance, and can close us out with that because this is something that our community really, really needs. So, hey, don't stray, don't go away. We'll be right back. Okay, Bitcoin, you are it. Great. Okay. Oh. Something I can see. Mm. Hmm. Can you all hear the commercial?
No.
This is something here.
No.
There's something in my phone. I don't know what's wrong with my phone. Oh. Well, okay. My phone is doing a thing, and I don't know what it's doing. Hmm. Something is in my phone. Well, may I use your phone? 'Cause my phone is done something here, and I haven't done it. Can I use your phone? My phone is really done something here.
technology, and other boundaries to achieve peaceful harmony in the global society. HWPL is committed to bringing world peace and cessation of war through peaceful dialogue between religious groups. I am Director Shin-Suk Kim of the HWPL Chicago branch of North America. Join us for our next gathering. Call 773-580-1501 and be a part of the movement for world peace. Email us at chicagohwpl@gmail.com.
Well, all right, Eve. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. We are now back online. I had to get another phone. I declare. I never had that to happen before. I had never had that to happen before. I didn't know what to do. So we got another phone. So that's the way it is. But you know one thing, Jackie, you have just been amazing. And a wonderful co-host because you just kept on moving when the beat stopped. You just kept it flowing. So I'm so appreciative of you on that. And it's about time for we are well, I guess we could just give me a little closing line for this cup of abundance that you would want for our community to take hold of. Because and and again, is there some number that we can get to you if we want to use your services or use your mind, your brain, your spirit, and to get this message? I call it a new wind blowing now, because the warriors, we're not coming with the same kind of weapons that have been used before, because we know who we are,
Yeah.
and we will walk in that light. I like that African songs. We're walking in the light of God. We're marching in the light of God. Yeah, and it's like women in our naturalness, in the love of land and love of the stars and the moon and the grass and the trees. We know that there's a higher power that we're accountable for. And one of the things we can't do is leave this planet without letting them know if we don't straighten this up, our children in the next generation are going to be facing the very same thing. So let's
Yes.
give them true weapons of faith, working and understanding that all of us have a cup of abundance to share. But the bigger cup is that mind of the master that we will pour and feed from
Yes.
and bless them on the overflow. Bless them on the overflow because we're still learning. And learning is something that never stops. You can't
Yes.
outlearn it. See, you're not big enough for God, you're not this, but you can never outlearn God. Because no matter how much you know, you keep moving, you find out you don't know as much as you think you know. And then the revelations come. What are some of the revelations you have? So we can just march off with this authority that you have and the revelations that you know have come to you and have kept you in motion and gave you the power to be able to keep this show going on when I had to get away from my seat and find out what's going on. When we're one, we don't fall, we don't fail. That's what what's his name? Mandela said. I never lose. I either win or I learn. What's your closing marks, my sister?
My closing remarks first, I want to thank you again. I'm so honored to be in your presence again. You look absolutely amazing and fabulous. You are beautiful,
Thank
beautiful,
you.
beautiful. So I want to thank you again for having me on. It's always a pleasure to sit with you. And the last thing I want to say to my brothers and my sisters out there, have a cup of abundance, which means there is supply. There are resources. We haven't run out of anything. Don't let anyone tell you or convince you that we've reached the end of the resources, the minerals, the nature. Don't let anyone tell you that. It is not so. As the earth remains, as the earth continues, there is supply, there is abundance, which then means because there's abundance, you don't need to be in competition with anyone for any reason. You don't need to compete. You don't need to beg. You don't need to suffer in terms of, now we know some folks are suffering now, we know
Mhm.
that that's a
Yeah,
real
right.
thing.
That's real. Mm-hmm.
But the opposite of the abundance is the scarcity mindset, which many folks is trying to just get more than they really need and more than they can really house and handle, because they're afraid of running out and afraid of not having all that they need, right? So they get extra, which then creates a situation where people don't have what they need. And we
Oh,
saw that happening during COVID. Just
yes,
reflect
indeed.
on that, right? I want
Indeed.
you to reflect on what happened during COVID.
Mhm.
I want you to remember your grocery stores. I want you to remember PPE supplies. I want you to remember hand sanitizer and toilet paper. Water. I want you to just reflect.
Mhm.
That's all. Reflect. And you'll find easily, quickly, the scarcity mindset. So, what we want to do is the opposite of that: abundance, freely give, freely share.
Mm. Love that. And Angela Joseph, she's one of our new hosts that has come to the female journey crew. And she says, yeah, we've got to know we are healers. We are healers. We are indeed
Yes.
here. Oh, we are indeed here to be healers.
Yes.
And we can find it in ourselves because we are abundant.
Yes.
Wow, right?
Abundance.
Abundant in that. So, Gabe, thank you so very much. I know you're going to be running up. Oh, and there's not one. Oh, I will. That love can't heal. Okay, there. I like that. I think it's not. There's not a pill that love can't heal. A ill. There's not an ill
That's not an ill.
that love can't heal. Thank you, Angela. Appreciate that so much. So we're going to go into the commercial. Happy Mother's Day to you, Miss Warrior. We're bringing in a new win. Let us just give the Creator glory for that, because we're not coming with weapons of, material and flesh and blood. We're coming
Right.
with the greatest. Well, you know what? Because the world does not know love. So we have to teach it to them. All right. Receive.
Yes.
God bless you. Have a
Happy
wonderful
Mother's
Day
Day
to
to
everybody.
everybody. Thank you all.
How do we get in touch with Minister Miller?
Oh, I can give you my email, which is jmiller at nrcdv.org. I'm going to say that again: jmiller at nrcdv.org.
Oh, there. Is that it on the screen? Can you see it on the screen?
nrcdv. So change the
NRC
V and the D.
DV. Okay, see, I got a little help in the house. So we're gonna leave you now and send you off. When Chicago, I don't know how the weather is where you are in Austin, but it's a
Mm-mm.
sunny day, a nice cool
Let me
day to
take
take a
it
walk
down.
and wrap yourself up in the love of your family, and just continue being the love that you were born to be. Okay,
Oh,
and walk
thank
in
you.
that
Peace and
authority.
blessings to all of you. Thank
Yeah,
you.
thank you. Have a great
Okay.
one. And we're going
Thanks.
to
You as
continue.
well.
Oh, thank you so very much. God bless you. And then we're going to have another commercial. And then when we return, we will have Queen Hostess Claudette Redic and Reverend Janine Ingram to speak about mothers in the heart. Okay? So thank you very much. And just hold on. Don't stray and go away. We'll be right back. Hey now. Yes, yes, yes. And those of you who are on our line, please press the one to participate in our conversation. We'd love to have you be a part of this, okay? So we're going to go to our ads and be right back.
Oh man, God sent the monthly sun bill today. This sunlight is really expensive, especially during this season. I'll probably have to work overtime to pay it.
Well, you better pay it on time. We don't want the sun to go out and we're sitting up here all day in the dark.
Wouldn't it be terrible if God charged us for sunlight? Well, thank God, the light and heat from the sun is free. So why are we paying such high bills for the energy we use in our homes? Because we don't know how to use solar energy, the free energy from the sun. You can convert your regular home to a solar energy home and save tremendously on your electric bill. Take a look at your electric bill. Wouldn't you like to reduce or possibly even eliminate that cost altogether? Let one of our solar consultants show you how. Call today, 312-849-3456, and schedule a free consultation. That's 312-849-3456. Hi, I'm Naima Latif, executive producer of the Female Solution Global Radio TV show. We are a part of the online network of Associated Internet Radio hosts, On Air. On Air empowers you with transformative news and interactive radio TV shows. This is such a wonderful time to be alive and to see our human family coming together as one community as a result of that powerful tool, the internet. We can now talk directly to each other all over the world. There's no need for conflict or misunderstanding. There's no need for violence to solve our differences. We can talk to each other face to face until we reach an agreement. On Air offers a fantastic global guide to communicators from all over the world who are using their internet platforms to inspire us to strive to be our best selves in order to become the kind, compassionate, loving people we were all born to be. Once we do that, we'll see planet Earth transformed into a place of peace. Subscribe to the recommended YouTube channels, Facebook pages, and podcasts created by these Voices of Enlightenment. On Air provides daily news briefs and a weekly magazine to keep you abreast of events and opportunities. On Air news affiliates in television, radio, and print share information, insight, and interviews with notable personalities. Go to onaireverywhere.com for a daily dose of uplifting news. We're on air everywhere, online all the time. I'm Beata, your holistic life coach. These days, it's more important than ever to work on your physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual health. Are you consciously breathing deeply in stressful moments? Do you have a plan or daily routine to maintain balance in your awesome body? Are you struggling to be disciplined in your eating habits?
I can't hear you.
I don't either.
Okay.
Oh my gosh, you don't hear me. No, I guess you didn't because I was mute. That means you all didn't hear the commercials either, right? Okay, we're gonna have to deal with that again because we cannot have them getting honest about this. I don't know what happened. Woo. Peace, peace, peace. Thank you, Queen Hostess. May I introduce the second half here on Walk in Your Authority? It is Hostess, Queen Hostess Claudette Redic, author and wellness minister of the community, and Lady Love, Reverend Janine Ingram. So let me stop this right now. I want to thank you all. So that means that you all didn't even hear the commercials, did you?
No.
Some of them.
Some of them? Okay. All righty. Well, Lady
The
Love, I guess
lady who,
I should just take in a deep breath like you tell me. Take a deep breath. Take a deep breath.
everything is divine. Everything is divine.
Yes, it is. So welcoming to you both today is a rather special day, I would think, for you all. And for me too. You know, I'm so accustomed to looking at others before I see myself in the same way. That someone, one of my cousins came, I was telling her, you know, about her mom and then Pearl's birthday. And I want to shout out to my daughter, Pearl. Hello, Pearl.
Happy birthday!
Love you.
Yes. So we're going to be meeting up someplace. She gave us one stick to meet up. Now she's changed her mind. She wants to go someplace else. So, you know, we just going to go with her for it's her day. It's her day. All righty. So here we are. And I am it's so blessed and honored to have you two ladies here. And then I have to deal with the reality that my mom as well is not here. And it's something it's not that I forgot her, but it's something about the mindset that we're in, that we are programmed to forget, or either we're programmed to not apply traditions. Because the purpose of traditions and celebrations is to remind you. And as a people, we have not done that. And Mother's Day has been commercialized, but it's not really how it started. And it started because of warriors. Piggyback writing upon Jacqueline when she was speaking about the warriors with the guns and the bombs and all these other kind of things. And that's when Mother's Day actually started, when women of the gray and the blue during the Civil War came and realized that they were walking the bloody fields of their loved ones, because the army and the military had not yet set up a retrieving of the bodies. And the bodies were so many until they just couldn't do them all. So people had to come in and be a part of that. So Julie Howard wrote the Battle Hymn of the Republic. And that was an inspiration. And that was here in America. And Mother's Day was born out of that, when the gray and the blue, women in gray and blue came together and wept and realized that their fathers, their brothers, their uncles, their love was out here on the field. And that's not what the womb of God intention. And so they had to think on that. Why are we doing this? And my eyes have seen the glory, the coming of the Lord, is by Julia Howe. And it was really a propaganda to say, hey, look, we've got to be able to solve our problems without going to war. And like Naima say, sit at the table till we just turn blue and get this thing done. So ladies, how are you today?
I am elegantly fabulous.
You know what? One thing about this, and I never thought about it, all three of us are grandmoms. Goes all the way out to Las Vegas.
I'll be going soon too.
That's about the best thing that Paul ever did. I'm going to see my grandchild. She didn't even go out there when she was here, when he, for him. But for that grandbaby, she makes sure that she gets out there. And Janine, her daughter, makes it possible. She goes out to Carolina somewhere or Durham and babysits out there, and then gets the babies when the mom and dad say we want to go honeymooning or whatever, and they bring them to Chicago. So just think how blessed we are. We're not old grandmoms rocking in the chair, rocking away till that great marvelous day.
I don't know. I love me a good rocking chair.
I tried a new one out yesterday.
I love a rocking chair too, but not the way. I love a rocking chair, but when I was coming up, there was a lady named Miss Mouse, and that's all she did is in the front, in the door, and rocked and rocked. I never saw that lady going down the stairs. She sat in the door every day and rocked. And for many of the people, they just was rocking, waiting for the Lord to come and bring them home, because that's what they were programmed to do. And it is so beautiful to be in this day and time, and we can see that even though we don't talk about it, we forget about these other mindsets prior to our coming. But that was not the way of the programming for us women. And I just want to give you guys a hand. Hello. Just our very presence right here. Let us know that we're not what used to be. And we're not putting it down, but we're not what we used to be. And we're not the children that our mother raised, and that we're still growing. So give us some idea of your coming up and your ideas about your mom when you were a kid versus where you are now. That's different. And some advice for some people, for those who may have other feelings that they're still holding on and have yet to heal from. So you have to tear it down. Who goes first?
I'll go first. I'll go first.
I see Mama Redic is in the picture in the back.
Oh, yeah. She left an indelible impression upon me.
Mama Redic is in the house.
Hey, when I identify myself, people say, well, who are you? I start out with, I'm the daughter of Doris and Monroe Redic. I go back through my family history because I don't need any outside labels or titles for my worth. And I guess as I've become this grandma, family and community is extremely important. So I want them to be able to recite the names back, where they came from, and why we're all here for a better life.
And why are we here for a better life?
Yeah, they worked hard to get it for us.
And it gets better.
Mm-hmm.
It gets better. Well, thank you for that intro. It gets better. I like that too. And we're going to get better. Lady Love, what you going to chime in on that?
Wow, that's interesting. I want to say that's great. I knew Doris, and I just want to honor her, speak her name. And I watched her be a phenomenal presence in our environment and a mother to many. Thank you for sharing your mom. I want to honor my mom, Miss Anastasia McAdoo, for being the portal that transported me to the planet. And I'm so grateful because she wasn't a traditional mother. She had her own unhealed processes, but I am the woman I stand on this planet to be because she is, and because she was, I am, and I'm grateful for the woman Miss Anastasia McAdoo was to become, so that I can become the woman I am today. In all her unhealed things, she was beautifully flawed, and I'm grateful to stand in my journey today to say, woo, still I rise.
Woo!
I love it.
Still I rise. I know. Still I rise, and I want to thank my cousin Kiva for this morning, because I didn't think about. I was just looking at your moms, but I didn't think about the fact that my mom too was no longer here. And I said, "Well, what is wrong with you, Joy?" I said, "It's okay." My mom came, bless her heart. She came the last time she came to Chicago. She brought a handful of pictures. And she started putting a picture in every one of my rooms. I said, Mama, I don't need a picture in you. Yes, you do. You need a picture in every room of me. You're not going to forget me. I said, Mom, I mean, picture on the piano, picture on the mantelpiece, picture in the children's room, picture in the dining room, picture in the living room, picture in the kitchen, picture on top of the cabinets. I mean, a handful of pictures. I said, are you planning on putting all of these pictures in this house? Yep, because you're not going to forget me. So I'm grateful for my mom. And I think what most I'm grateful for is the fact that I have lived long enough to understand her better, understand why she could not have the conversations that I was in need of, have the conversations that I was longing for, desperately needed them, because no one had any answers from me. And it was very difficult because my mom would, like I said, my mom would say, oh, I'm feeling really good. I know something bad going to happen. So she was always in a state of not being appreciated and not loving herself. And one of the devastating things that my mom said, and it troubled me for a long time. I think my tuition in high school was like about $10 a month. Right now it's over $200, right? But she came in and I was so excited about the job my mom did. And I'm only saying this not to be negative, but to be able to gauge from where I have come from to where I am now. And to know that I've been blessed to formulate a whole different mindset of forgiving. And I had a really neat conversation with my daughter this morning too, that let me know I'm growing up. Because we were talking about some things and I couldn't talk with my mom about that. And in fact, a couple of weeks ago, I couldn't. But because I had you all coming on, I know you all were coming, it kind of helped me. Because I know Janine had come through some hurdles and could live quite comfortably, not ever forgiving her mom. Well, you too, and me. But we all have come to that place where we know because of these women, we become richer.
Who we are.
We become richer. And when my mom said, Janine, she said that I told my principal, I said, oh, my mom, she's a nurse assistant and she delivers preemie babies. And my mother would come with all these amazing stories. And then she looked and then she looked at me real mean like, and then she looked at the principal and says, I am nothing. I am nothing. And I said, Mom, what do you mean you're nothing? And something inside of me just imploded. And that hurt to hear her. But I didn't really understand what that really meant. But now through the teaching of the love journey and being with you, Claudette, and being around powerful women, I want to say happy Mother's Day to you all.
Yes.
How much I appreciate you all and how much I appreciate God blessing us, the Creator blessing us to live through some real difficult, challenging times. And yet we're like the Three Musketeers, we're still here. And very different people. Very different people.
We're the triangle. That's who we are. We got those different angles, but we all stay together because we are one.
We are one.
Mm-hmm.
No matter what we do, we are one.
And this is one lady that really marches her own drums because she got shoes that I would not even imagine wearing. And I think these 4 and 5 inch heels that she be wearing.
Mama Jo, I think you just be making up stories about me.
But now your mom's gone, and we know that. So how do you wear her love in your heart? How do you wear it? How do you hold it? How does it feel now? Is her presence still with you, or how does that go with you?
Well, for me, my mother had a love for music that I think will reach to the end of time. I mean, I could hear a song, like one day I was cleaning up and it was a remake of the song that made me think of her. So let me give you an example. My mother had an interesting company. Like I would come home when we lived on 111 King Drive, and Natalie Cole would be sitting in the living room, Maurice White, the Isley brothers. So it's her birthday. So all these people here, and the Isley brothers would bring her a signed copy of their new album. And hit song on there was "Hello, It's Me." I thought about you for a long, long time. Maybe I think too much, but something's wrong. And my mother played that song all day. And so one day I was cleaning up and it was a lady who remade it. And all of a sudden I could just feel my mother's presence. I was like, oh my God. And I just sat for a minute and embodied her spirit. My mother had just the coolest, laid back, non-judgmental energy. You could tell her anything. And she just had this rhythm, this smoothness about her. And music was who she was. I mean, you can come on a Sunday morning, she was cooking macaroni, cheese, greens, black eyed peas, the whole gamut. Every Sunday it was routine, and she had her jazz. And my mother smoked her joint, so she would smoke her joint, and she would have her Jamal on, Stanley Turrentine, Miles Davis every Sunday. So that's how I learned how to love jazz, my flavor of jazz, and she embodied all kinds of music. She loved Aaron Neville. She loved Johnny. I don't know why I can't think of Johnny last name right now. Johnny Mathis. And
yes,
she loved him. And so when I hear certain songs, I'll be driving down the street and Anthony Hamilton song would come on. Then one of her songs where she said, "Where the point of it all is love, and the point of it all is love." And so I love you. And so whenever I hear that song, I instantly think of Miss Anastasia McAdoo. So for me, she's always in my heart. She's always in my heart. She loved the beach. She loved good food. She loved a good conversation. And she was a great listener. So that's things that make me think about my mom. And sometimes I can see my mom and my sisters. I can say, oh, Mom, she just remind me of Mama. She walking like Mama. Or sometimes I can see a profile, and I say, oh, my God, she's looking just like Mom. So Mom is still here in my heart, in my music, in my family. So that's what I feel.
Wow. What a reflection that is.
Mm-hmm.
Still in my heart. Go back to, thank you. Thank you, Sharam. That was a nice expression.
A lot of good graphics there.
What's interesting? The only time my mom came to me in my dream is when she told me my daughter was getting ready to have a daughter.
Oh.
She sat on the other side of the bed, Emerald, and I could say, oh, Mom, it felt so real. Like it didn't even feel like I was dreaming. And I looked at her and she pointed over to the other side, and I saw Emerald's face, my first granddaughter. I saw everything about Emerald. And you know what it was funny? Emerald was about 3 years old. She said, your mama told me to tell you she loved you.
Wow.
No.
I was like, what? I said, well, where did you? She said, I talked to her in heaven. Is that amazing?
It is.
The other kid, her mom and her dad heard her say that. She was sitting there, she was like, yeah, grandmommy told me to tell you she loved you. I was like, what?
Grandma told me to tell you I love you.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome.
And she said she proud of you. And she was only 3. I was like,
how old is she? How old was she? How old was she?
And I said, well, where did you talk to her at? She said, when I was in heaven.
All right.
She said when she was in heaven.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm going to hold on to that story, because I said even a kindergarten, a small kid can answer this question. They said, where is God? God is in heaven. Really? Well, who made you? Well, God made me. And then, therefore, if God is in heaven and God made you, you were made in heaven.
Wait, but let me tell you what this 6-year-old asked me the other day. She said, Grandma, she called me on the phone. She said, I know you're the only one who can understand this. Is God energy? I was like, what? Ooh. She asked me, is God energy?
Is God energy? Oh, she came omni-active. That's what I say. Well, okay, I see you, Dion. She said, "Happy Mother's Day. I'm enjoying the discussion." Dee from Cali, from California, sunny California, yay! So grateful. Thank you for coming aboard. That's my little niece. I tell you, gosh, God, thank you. Yeah. So these children are coming here ready,
Oh, yes.
ready for
Ooh,
ready for this time. So what is your method, Claudette? Oh, that's right. And you got boys.
I got
boys.
boys.
You got two girls and you got boys.
I come from a family of a lot of men. In fact, I was the only girl out of 6 of us coming up, and
Mhm.
I had this name, Queen Hostess. My mother trained me for this. It was always, let's serve the men, let's get their things ready. And as I grew up, I just continued this, and I enjoy getting things ready for people's, ease of eating, access, all of that, because it's important that you're happy when you're with me. And I think the hostess part just brings that out. I like to give gifts and, find out what's happening in your life. So that's the queen hostess. People could pick up on this. I did not give it to myself. And you're like, that's you, Claudette. You like the host. And I do enjoy having people over. Let's do something creative, you guys.
And I want folks to know that you are an amazing. She can make the most elegant events on a shoestring, literally. I've been to some of the affairs that you had for your mother, and you said, "Girl, please, I had a shoestring, a small budget, but everything was elegant, so elegant and beautiful." Okay, I've got a caller here, 448-4498. You want to chime in on the conversation? Can you give us your name and where you're calling from?
Hi, this is Lois in Chicago, and I just thank God for all of the mothers today. I'm one of 10 children. My mother, Clara, made trash, so I can honestly say that as a child, she taught us about keeping yourself clean. She said, if you don't have but one pair of pants, you wash them out every night. And you have to wash your body. That vagina, we had to get over and wash that vagina every day. She said, if you keep yourself clean, somebody will always want you. And sure enough, she said, you don't need perfume and all that stuff. And I can honestly say, since she's been in heaven, she's visited me several times. Everybody's wondered, well, how did Lois know her brother was in the hospital? Well, Mom and Dad came and told me. Get to that hospital right away. And they will come to you and let you know, even though they're gone, God, they're still in our hearts. I miss my mother so very, very much. But one day she saved me. My sink had stopped up, and I poured some vinegar, I poured some ammonia and bleach down the drain, and I fell asleep. And she came to me and awakened me. Get up right now, Lois, get up. And I was trying to tell her all the mess that was going on with my brothers and sisters. I don't want to hear that, get up. And sure enough, I had slept through the ammonia and bleach. And I wound up on my front porch with my pajamas on, all because my mother awakened me. So all of you all who've lost your mother, believe me, she's still in our hearts, and she'll never leave us. And God is good. And thank you all for this time, for this happy Mother's Day for all of us. Love you. This is Lois in Chicago.
All right,
Thank
Lois.
you, Lois.
I love that story. It reminds me of this book called Hello from Heaven.
Hello from Heaven?
Yes. In the book, it's a lot of different stories of people telling their stories of their loved ones actually coming back to do something. So one lady is sitting in the middle of her floor crying because she can't pay the mortgage. She don't have no food. And she just crying in spirit. And she saw the spirit of her mother. Now, she wasn't even dreaming. Like I was dreaming. She was actually woke, and she smelt her mother. She smelt the favorite flowers of her mother. And her mother said, baby, go up in the closet There's a secret passage door in the floor. Pull it up, and there's the money to pay the mortgage. And when she went up there to look for where her mother would told her, she said it was more than enough to pay the mortgage, buy the food, and everything for more than 2 years.
What?
And then there's another story in there where a girl was in college, and she was in New York, and you know how they had a fire escapes, and her mother came to her and told her to shut her window and lock it. And she like, shut my window and lock it. So she kept trying to ignore it. Her mother came back, shut that window and lock it. Every time she would try to go to bed and go to sleep, her mother would wake up, shut that window and lock it. So she finally got up and did it. And then the next morning, there had been a guy who was assaulting women by coming in through the fire escape and coming in through the window.
Ooh.
I love that book called Hello from Heaven.
Hello from Heaven. Well, all right, then let's hold on to those stories. And we're going to have our last bout with our last presentation with our sponsors, and we'll be right back. So don't stray and don't go away. And Lois, if you want to, you can certainly chime in if you want to speak and join this conversation. We say thank you. So right now we'll honor our sponsors, and then we'll be right back.
Do you or your organization need space for an event? Call the Quarry Event Center at 2423 East 75th Street in Chicago for your parties, banquets, award ceremonies, repasses, concerts, and business seminars. Available 7 days a week. Now under new management. Call us at the Quarry at 773-663-2557. That's 773-663-2557.
Do you worry about finances, family, health, jobs, relationships? Are you in pain? Do you feel stuck? If you answered yes to any of these questions, help is available. Don't worry, you're not alone. It's part of the human process. You only feel this way because you haven't mastered the voices in your head. No hype, just down-to-earth, solid, workable tools and techniques that you can practice daily. It's really food for the soul. Whether you want to learn how not to worry about anything, reverse type 2 diabetes, publish a book, promote your product or service, or just make extra money. To take advantage of the deal of the day, go to zeldaspeaks.com or call 312-409-6619. Mention promo code The Female Solution and get free shipping. That's zeldaspeaks.com or 312-409-6619. Stop worrying today. Visit zeldaspeaks.com.
Okay, that's fine. This is great. All righty. So here we are back. Thank you for staying right in. And I was looking for the media connection, and let me see. Maybe this is it, huh? Let's see. Is this the media connection on here? Jerome, is this picture you have on here? Okay. I don't know what that is. Well, anyway, it's about the media connection. I don't have it right now. Let's continue right on. And thank you so very much. And welcome back to Walk in Your Authority. I'm Mama Joy here with Reverend Janine Ingram and Queen Hostess Claudette Redic. And we're talking about mothers in our hearts. So I'm going to look and see if I can find it, and we'll play that. We've got about 28 more minutes before we exit this place. So when mothers, I can speak about when my mother left. Thank you for showing me that. You would put that one up. This is a picture that was given to me at my birthday, and some years back. And my granddaughter came to me and she said, "Mom, who's that lady?" on your picture. And I told her, I said, oh, that's Sojourner Truth. She said, oh, I know Sojourner Truth. I'm talking about that other lady over there. Hello. And I'm the one talking about my mama bringing all of those pictures to the house and putting them in the bathroom, the bedrooms, the kitchen, the sunroof area, just all over the house saying, don't forget me. And when my granddaughter asked me who that lady was, I was totally, I thought you guys were there at my party.
Mm-hmm.
And I told her, I said, that's my mother. That's your grandmother. How do we do that? How do we do that? How did that happen? I don't know.
I'd like to speak to that.
Yeah. Help me
I,
out.
I think we've lost touch with the rituals and the even just like the soul food Sundays that we used to, nobody didn't have to call. My sisters didn't call mom to see if she was cooking. They knew she was cooking. So they came over on Sunday.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I think we lost touch with those things, rituals and traditions and things that we used to do because, we're going to be this new wave moms and we're going to do, and now people just grow up and they grow their separate ways and they don't understand the importance of keeping in touch with family. And so I can ask somebody, oh, when the last time you spoke to, oh yeah, we was just texting the other day. Well, to me, texting is not talking and being present with someone. You know what I'm saying? We're not present. I think electronics has distracted us and we lost touch with our rituals, and especially in our communities. We were very ritualistic kind of people. And now you don't hear people saying, oh yeah, we used to be upset because we want to go do something. Yeah, we got to go to grandma's house because she having dinner every Sunday. And it was mandatory that we make it.
It was mandatory.
Yes.
I want to talk about that mandatory show up every Sunday at our house. It was my mom, an entrepreneur, beautician. We lived next door to the church. So that was her way. She worked 7 days a week a lot of times, but on Sundays, she would have these big dinners and the whole community was invited. In fact, we children who live there, we didn't get there soon enough. We may not eat because the neighbors and the friends from church and all would show up. And my mother would be just standing there smiling. She was so happy that people came and ate with her. No obligation. People would get their plates and go on. And I guess I try to continue that tradition. I'm frequently hosting, come on over, you guys, let's eat. And don't bring that, just come. Because I want us to continue to gather. This is when you hear what's happening in another's life. You get to see their face too, because the text is not going to show you what's happening momentarily with that person. And I like to be in the moment with the people I'm interacting with.
That's so very true.
My grandmother. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And Lois, I've got your mic open. Are you interested in tabbing in?
Well, I'm definitely here.
Okay. So
I just wanted to finish off and tell you all about the fact that when I went to the doctor, because I really couldn't breathe, the doctor says, well, I thought you were smarter than that. You didn't know to mix those two chemicals? I really didn't know. I thought I was going to stop this thing. But I'm here. I'm listening to it, and I'm enjoying this program. Thanks, all of you mothers. Love you.
That's right. Well, I apologize. I don't know what happened. I'm glad you held that thought because I'd forgotten about it. That's right. So what were the two chemicals that you mixed up? Because the moment you said it, I said, oh, boy, that's a trouble.
Yes.
That's bleach. And what was the other one?
Ammonia and bleach. I poured it down the sink because my kitchen sink was stopped up. And I thought it was going to unstop itself with the ammonia and bleach, but it put me to sleep. And I wouldn't be here talking today.
And
thank you, Jesus.
Yeah, and your mom, the spirit of your mother came to you and told you to get up.
She definitely woke me up. Yes, she did. Yes, she woke me up. Get up now, right now, Lord, get up. I'm trying to tell her a whole lot of things that's going on with her. I don't want to hear that. Get up.
Yeah.
And so when I stood on the porch, and eventually what I did, I went back in the house and went to sleep again and had to wind up going to the emergency room. And that's when the doctor told me, she said, I thought you were smarter than that. I thought you knew better than to mix those chemicals.
Wow.
And I just thought it was going to be way for the thing. Yeah, mothers are still the joy. She's still the joy of my life. I cry every now and then, but I know that she's with God and she's still with me. And I just think of the training that she gave me, I instilled that upon my children. And she said, I kept all of my children in church because I didn't want them in gangs and I didn't want them with drugs. And she said, the only thing I could do was keep them close to God. So we'd be in church from 11 o'clock service, 3:30 service, 7:30 service, every Sunday, you know. So this is
didn't keep us out of trouble.
I raised my children that way, you know. And I just thank God for all the good mothers. And I hope and pray that all of these young ladies who are holding an awe against their mother would just let it go, and give mama a call today. You know, give mama a call, no matter how you feel, because one thing for sure, we can say she did the best she knew how to do.
Amen. Let the church say amen on that.
Can I speak on the dream factor? Because my mother was a great dreamer, and I've never, well, I recall very few dreams in my lifetime, but mother would wake up in the morning and she'd tell us, all of us, about the dream she had, and it was usually about overcoming something, some obstacle that was in the way. If it was the boys needing uniforms for their teams, or I needed money to travel, I was just getting the heck out of those projects, and she'd come with that. But it would be by way of a dream, I think, that she got her answers. And I'm still waiting on the dreams to hit me, because I'm still not dreaming. I walk eyes wide open and see and hear things. But those nighttime dreams, they sound like they're just invaluable. Yeah.
Ooh, what a great testimony. Dreams are really for real. Mm-hmm. And a comment here, Naima Latif, she says, I don't think they even teach in school that ammonia and bleach make a deadly mixture. Unless parents tell us, how will we know?
I was one who used to mix those chemicals together, and Brittany came home one day and called me Chemical Ann. If you don't stop mixing, that's a deadly poison. I'd be almost knocked out trying to clean the floor on my knees.
It's so much that we don't know. And and again, and then we have parents who didn't know, and then we fault them, you know, with all kinds of stories that we make up because we couldn't have conversations with, at least with myself, with my.
I think about those home remedies we used to have, like for cleaning on Saturday. You get water, and we didn't have chemicals that you could use except on that floor. You had to really do a lot of stripping and then waxing because it had to shine at the end of the day. But
so you had that every Saturday clean too?
Oh, that's where I got my jazz practice in. Mama would have the jazz on for us, and by the time Dad would come through in the afternoon, he's a blues man. So we had quite a mixture, but you could not leave on Saturdays until you had finished all your chores and that house was sparkling.
Exactly. Wait, did you have one spot on the dish and you had to wash all the dishes?
All the dishes. Don't go to bed. You hadn't finished. You getting up in the middle of the night. You will have this done, you know.
Wait, I remember one night I washed the dishes, half washed them, and it had a spot. My mother took all the dishes out the whole cabinet and made me wash every dish in the house. I was like, what?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God.
But they taught us thoroughness and completeness. I think we have just one too many opportunities for our children to not be accountable. They can just slide through. Oh, well, next time. No, every job you do, my mom taught us, should be your best. Don't be shirking with that. You got to go back. Oh, it's not quite right. Go back again. Because it was your job to do the very best that you could do.
I think that's a good thought process, but I also think that it makes us always feel like you have to be perfect. Everything has to be perfect. And so then I think it keeps you from really, in terms of your gifts and talents, really presenting your gifts to the world because you feel like everything has to be perfect. And so I had to always tell myself sometimes things is better done than perfect, to get that book out, to get that gift out, to get that song out, or whatever it is that I need to get out in terms of my gifts and talents. And I do think it was because my mom always said, if you're going to do it, you better do the best or don't do it at all. That was her big thing.
So that's why you push us in coaching, huh? Just get it done. It ain't got to be perfect. Just do it. You know.
I know.
Yeah.
That brought to my mind when I would be at work and I would do graphics, and it said, Joy, hear the words. We know you can do really well with the words, and so this is what we want. But look, it doesn't have to be perfect now, okay? Because we need it in the we need it today, not next week. Because I guess I never thought about it until now. But people would say that to me often. It doesn't have to be perfect, Joy. And now I get it. Yeah. Listening to you all, I get it now. I wish I had gotten it 20 years ago. But it all takes time for certain behaviors for us to even be aware of it, or to even hear what it is that people are saying, because I know my brain sometimes be locked up into some vision or something to do, and people are saying a whole lot of things around me, and I don't even take it in. I'm just moving forward, just moving, keeping on moving. And so, yeah. And that's true. My mom, I would hear from my mom, I would hear from my dad, I would hear from my grandmom. I mean, they just would just pound this in, the need to be better than the others, these other people, and prove yourself, So again, we are going to be asking you all for the calls. We have about another 8 more minutes before we leave. 515-605-9325 to call in, or you can call us at the StreamYard number as well. And then for those of you who are on Facebook, just please 727-731-5192, and then just push the 1 key. So we appreciate that. Thank you, Mr. Engineer, for keeping that one. I tell you, we need help with all things. I want to just throw something in the basket on that thought about the technology and whatever. When I was coming up, both my grandmothers, we lived, it was an L shape, the block, and one part of the L, my grandmother from my mom was there, and on the other block, my dad's grandmother. So we were people who were literally on top or very close, walking distance.
Yes.
And then too, we didn't have so much interference on the phone. If somebody called at the house and you weren't home, you just didn't learn about it till you got there. But now people have access to you 24 hours a day. That's a little bit much. We don't
allow it.
Now we've gotten used to it. But where is the private time? Where is the time for yourself? We carry the phone. You go into a store and it's very common to hear someone come in. You've got to fix my phone today. I can't live without it. You got to fix this now because I have people that need me calling and I got to do this. I got texts and I got to do. What happened to the Rolodex?
Still got mine.
There was not a friend. There was not a person that I knew that I did not know their phone numbers by heart.
Right.
I knew numbers, 20 people, 30 people. I knew their phone numbers. I don't even, I'm not going to say what numbers I don't. I did my own kids. I have to go and press the button. When I got hit by the car and I was down on the ground, there was only one number that I could think of, and that was my daughter, Stradia. I couldn't believe it. What happened? And as a result, I think that a lot of this Alzheimer's and different kind of memory lapses is because the things that we knew and the things that we did, that we're losing those abilities simply because there's a certain part of our brain that we're not using anymore.
Not me. I still dial numbers. I know 312-437. I won't say everything number. I know your number 773. I know Nikki 312-55. I know all the numbers.
But you have a knack for memorizing stuff. I mean, you memorize everybody's story. You work with your mind, and I think that's probably why. And I need to start reading more. Because I do believe that helps. That helps to keep your mind fresh and it's usable. And it's like you said, if you don't use it, you'll lose it. So I'm inclined to believe that that's what's happening. And my mom, I had to just tell her, my mother used to fix gumbo by the gallons. Gumbo by the gallons.
You got any left?
You got that recipe?
Don't do that to me, please. I had people calling me from California, from New Orleans, from New York. You mean to tell me you don't have your mama's gumbo? But now I tell you who's got that gumbo. It is the Dee Dee here in California. She got that. She got it. She got it. She does an excellent job. I need to get it from her. Maybe she'll share it with me. I don't know. Share my mama's video. Mommy, gumbo.
Ooh,
Yeah.
I help buy some of the ingredients. Let's make some gumbo.
You know, and touching bases on what you're talking about, the traditions, this is something that I feel is really vital to the unity of our people.
Yes.
We have not constructed any kind of event to celebrate as a people. I'm happy to see the growing of the Juneteenth event. But the June event, I do not hear the real story being told. And it's always told in a way where, you know, but I would, no, let me say it this way. I would like for our events that we do feel need, even like the Emancipation Proclamation, it was something that the people in that time had joy about. It was something they felt good about. But then I see some people, some scholars, who will take that and mar it like it was no big deal. But those individuals who were there was the very first time that America could come into a light, even a hemline of being a free nation. Because when she was born, slaves came in immediately through the grandfathering of the slaves from the South. But they had slaves too in the North, but they were under processing of manumation being done. And then we have folks telling our stories, like for instance, like what's her name? Harriet Tubman. Harriet Tubman didn't go down south. There were slaves up here in the north. And she was Frederick Douglass. They were born in New York. Huh? These people were born in the north. They were not born in the south. And whatever deliverance or you know, however they were used to go and free their brothers and sisters, it was all in the north. It was not in the south. And I would wonder, how did she do that in the south, as close knit as it were? But I didn't understand that there was slavery in the north. And that's where she was operating. She didn't go beyond that Mason-Dixon line. Because when that Mason-Dixon line opened that Emancipation Proclamation, there was anywhere from 4 to 7 million people. What, you know, what about that? What about Juneteenth? And then put God where it is. Because in traditions, if they're going to be lasting, it has to be an honorable one that can connect and align itself with the divinity of who we are, that connects with the Creator. So I would like to just say this, that I honor the Heavenly Mother and the spirit of mother that dwells in me. And I heard a young lady teach the other day. You may know her already. I think it's Keisha Barrett, Reverend T.L. Barrett's daughter. Yeah. And she skillfully worked it. Whenever she spoke about the Bible or something in the Bible, she says, His word. Undisputable, His word. I said, yeah, that's right. She said, but she leads me and she guides me. I said, wow, how powerful. What did Jacqueline say? We're not coming here to compete, competition, or, you know, collide with our men. Janine, when you worked with us with the Love Journey, there was no collision.
No, never competition.
Never. It's always love. And we are led by the feminine essence of God that dwells in us. And I thought that was so skillfully done. And I said, wow, just listening to her just that one time, unlocked a lot of doors for me because I didn't know how to use that. But the Bible is undisputably.
Well, wait, hold on. I think you always knew how to use it. I think it just must have gave you permission because you always gave honor to the feminine presence of God.
I have done that since 1987. That's true. But I did give honor, but I did not know how to frame it, how to use that in the Bible, how to use it, not in the Bible, but how to differentiate biblical and the revelations and the guidance that I get from within. And I think that if we when we open ourselves to the directives of the Spirit, that's what I'm speaking about. Always growing.
Mama Joe, you done opened up a whole nother can of worms. You need to have a whole nother lesson on that because we about to end.
Well, we don't even open up a can of worms, okay, Mother? Hello.
And I want to end with
how the worms nurture the fertilize the dirt. You fertilize it because you really on to something that's powerful. And I say, wow, she wait to the end and bring that powerful. That's a whole other subject.
Everything must end. Nothing stays the same. You know,
I always love my mama. She's my favorite girl. Happy Mother's Day, Mama Joy. This was a great conversation.
It was. And I love the fact that that this
Happy Mother's Day, Claudette.
Happy Mother's Day to you, Claudette. Happy Mother's Day. Sharon, are you ready to take us on out of here? Happy Mother's Day to you on Facebook. Happy Mother's Day to you who are on call. Happy Mother's Day. And no, all right. And
my mother changed her name to Love officially because that's what she is about. And I still feel that I'm learning to love like she did all of her life.
Come on, Miss Redic.
Oh, yeah.
Love,
that's my girl.
All right.
Yes.
I always love my mama.
And I want, God, happy Mother's Day. Yes. Hey. And of course, you know, Mother Redic started with that Al Green. You know, she used to rock us with Al Green. So I love it.
We've come to the end of our show today. If you missed any broadcasts, go to our website for the audio and video archives at www.thefemalesolution.com. On behalf of our team of radio hosts, I'd like to thank all of you who participated in today's discussions. And to our global family,